Hi there. On the 18th of January in New Zealand, 19th of January other places, we've got a new moon in Capricorn, which is the first new moon for 2026. So when the new moon, of course, for 2026 is going to be very much about setting our intentions for the month ahead, but we can also use this new moon to set our intentions for the year ahead. And being a number 1 year, this is also can be setting your intentions for the next 9 years ahead as well. So when the moon moves into Capricorn, it's going to join the sun already sitting there in Capricorn, Mercury already sitting there, Venus already sitting there, and Mars already sitting there. So that will give us 5 planets sitting in Capricorn, which is a really big Capricornian push. So Capricorn energy represents being practical, being grounded, being ambitious, hardworking, tenacious, sustainable. All of those sort of more career-oriented energies really go well with Capricorn energy. So at this time, with all of these planets sitting in Capricorn, it's a very, very good time for everybody to be really looking at what they're doing career-wise and really stepping into more ambition. If you want to be better at what you do or have a better role or have a greater reach or whatever it is you're looking for, now is the time to use this Capricorn energy to find out what you need to do to create that. So what structure do you need to create? What routine do you need to have? What program do you need to invest in? Whatever it might be, you need to look for all those practical tools that you need to be able to make your dreams come true or to make, your what you want to do move further, be bigger, be more successful in some way. However, what we've got to realize with Capricorn energy is that we've still got to take into account our intuition, our feelings, and our imagination. Capricorn likes to deal with facts and figures, not so much with everything else. So, with the moon there, we are putting our emotions into what we want. So, we're thinking about what is it you want to do, career wise in particular, but you can look at this in other areas of your life. What do you want to start? New moons are about creating what we want for the year ahead. So, it's a very good time to use this new moon energy to really look at what you want to create within your career or something serious or practical in your life and how to go about that. So the sun's giving you lots of focus there. So you've got all the energy and all the focus, the determination and the discipline to get things done under that Capricorn sun. Capricorn and Mercury gives us the ability to communicate in a very practical way and to also research, listen, go after, look into anything that's going to help us on a practical level to do what we need to do next. Now, Venus is important here because Venus represents our values. So when Venus comes into play here, the other thing we're being asked by this is not to just be working on being more successful and more, brilliant in what you do. I mean, that's good. It's good to work on those things, but those things must be aligned with who you truly are. Venus reminds us what our values are. And when she's in Capricorn, the values can be a lot more traditional, a lot more conservative than what they usually are. So we're looking towards our own needs and what we need to practically move ahead. And then we have Mars, which is the planet with all the energy and the motivation, the action and the passion for what we're doing. So he's going to give us unlimited energy to get what we need to get off the ground in a very practical, down to earth way. So all of these planets working together are really great for you to take a big step, to be ambitious and to really look at how you can create what you want to create. However, they're all going to be more or less opposing Jupiter and Cancer. So what we've got to be very careful of here, with only one little planet sitting down there in Cancer and all these big five bullies up there in Capricorn, the Cancerian energy is the opposite to Capricorn. So as Capricorn is very practical, down to earth, sometimes very cold and clinical, Cancerian energy is much more intuitive, much more sensitive, much more creative, and much more emotional. So Capricorn, Cancer represents the family energy and the mothering energy, and Capricorn it represents more of the father energy and the career energy, the serious stuff in life. So when these two are opposing one another, what we've got to remember is to put love and compassion, empathy into everything you do. So Capricorn energy, worst case scenario, will trample women and children to get what it needs, and of course that's the opposite to what Cancerian energy would do. It would put the woman and children first. So we've got to really look at this and not allow all of that Capricorn energy to override your natural feelings of caring and compassion and empathy and sincerity and intuition. All of those things are really important parts of us as well. And we can't just always be, super ambitious and super programmed to be successful. We've got to use that other compassionate energy within that as well, because it brings us the creativity and it brings us the ideas that come from outside the box that help us to be more advanced and more ambitious in what we're doing. So balance yourselves out a bit with this energy, but very much do use this new moon energy to put out there your intentions for this month ahead, for the year ahead, and maybe even for the next 9 years. Now, when we put out our intentions, remember we can change those at any time. They don't have to be, sealed in concrete for the next 9 years. So, but it's always good to have a goal, to have something to start with, to have a starting point that you can then work from. So use this energy to find out what that structure is that you need. What's that step you need, that practical thing you need to do that is aligned with who you are and what you want to be, and start moving in that direction to see what you can get off the ground. So good luck with this new moon, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.